What do you need to know about moving to San Diego from out of state? Well, I got 5 things that we're going to go through to let you understand all about San Diego. I'm Steven Rotsart, and I'm a real estate specialist here in San Diego. I've lived here all my life, over 40 years, and I love San Diego. I've compared cities all over the world, and I still can't leave San Diego. And I'm going to get through 5 things that really are going to be specific. Now, first of all, San Diego is known as America's finest city, and it really kind of just lives up to that trend. But there are 5 specific things that you can know about so that you can prepare when you come and move to San Diego. Number 1 is the weather. Pretty much year round, we have 75-degree weather. Now, we're going to have some dips and we're going to have some highs, but overall, it is so, let's say, just kind of a stagnant 75 degrees year round. Doesn't really sway a whole lot from that. The other thing that we have here is that we really have a lack of humidity. We don't see that in a tropical environment or anything like that you would see in Florida or maybe even Hawaii. San Diego is a very dry climate because we are close to the desert. So when it is 75 degrees, we just don't have that humidity that might knock it up a few other extra degrees. And on top of that, when it's cold, it's a dry cold. We have had some unique weather systems over the past few years, but overall, our climate is pretty stagnant year-round, and makes it really a dynamic place to live. Now, all the time, including my own relatives, this is a hot spot for San Diego. Steve, what about the earthquakes? Okay, well, San Diego is really unique because we actually don't live on a major fault line. We are offshoot. So when I say major fault line, everybody knows the San Andreas Fault, which runs almost the length of California. But what's really interesting is the fault lines that go through San Diego County are not a major one. They're kind of an offshoot of that major fault line. So when we actually have earthquakes here, we have never had a major trembler that has really shook us. And they're very rare, very rare. And I compare it to this. I have relatives that live in the Midwest, and I have relatives that live in the South. Hurricanes and tornadoes, they come every single year, no matter what. There's always hurricane season. There's always tornadoes every single year. We do not have that here in San Diego County when it comes to earthquakes. Now, technology is going to help us. We're probably going to see in the future where we can predict these. It is very difficult to predict an earthquake because scientists are still studying the geologic movement. But you can see by the dynamic landscape that San Diego has with the thrusting mountains and the different valleys that we have, natural water runoff. Clearly, we have seismic activity that exists over here in California. But San Diego's diverse landscape really makes it unique. But I'll take the earthquakes any day. Next on the list is the cost of living. Now, this one I want to hit on because last year, 2023, San Diego was the most expensive market to live in all of the United States. Now, there's several factors that come into play with that. Obviously, housing is part of that, and it's the most expensive part of it because we don't have everything else that leads up to make housing affordable. What do I mean? Basically, if you look at any report across the board, when it starts talking about affordability of housing in San Diego County, they're going to immediately go and look at the jobs reports of what supports that type of housing community. Now, the military is one of the largest employers in San Diego County outside of other government entities. And clearly, the individuals that are in our military community can't sustain the pricing that has gone on over the past few years, where literally between January and January, 12 months, we have had almost a 13% increase in pricing appreciation. That's just not sustainable. On top of that, what's factoring in to the affordability is the lack of housing. We have builders that, due to, even though San Diego is 70 miles by almost 70 miles, almost 4,500 miles of land makes up San Diego County, we have a lot of natural preserves and have exhausted certain parts of being able to build in San Diego proper. With that reason, there's limited housing inventory that's left. What is online is a very small amount for the amount of people that are interested in living in San Diego. So for that reason, that has really skyrocketed prices over the past few years. And we do not have the jobs that support those price points. to live in San Diego County. And I can tell you, even as a father, I'm concerned for my children. If they want to stay in San Diego, I'm going to have to, kind of come up with a plan to make sure that there's a viable option to keep my children close. So I understand the affordability issue, but I want to tell you as a real estate agent, there are ways around it. There's house hacking abilities, and I'm seeing that a lot right now, and more popular option with the advent of ADUs or additional dwelling units to help offset some of that cost of living and having shelter right here in San Diego. So if you want more details on that, I'll probably shoot another video, but there are house hacking options to make San Diego more affordable. Next on the list, it's going to be traffic and transit. Now, our transit system has gotten better. We do have rail lines and a trolley system, but for a metropolitan city, we are so spread out. Everyone in San Diego predominantly relies on a car. And we have people that have commutes. I know, and I have relatives that commute over an hour to go to work for a certain employer here in San Diego County. They live actually outside of San Diego and commute in because of affordability. So all those factors have to come into play when you're taking a look at San Diego County as a living option. There are rural areas of San Diego that are more affordable, but you have to account for commute time. So on any given day, for example, if I go to the beach, which is on the west side, and I'm going to come east in the evenings, which is typical traffic time, it could take me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to go about 25 miles. So give that some consideration. The same happens traveling north to south, going from south part of the county to all the way to the north part of the county, which would be La Jolla, Carlsbad areas. That commute time can actually be fairly long as well. And that's not only at the coastal areas, but even inland. And the reason is because inland has really, really done a fantastic job of bringing employers into the community and providing viable options for our residents in San Diego County. And most of those are in a suburban environment where they have a lot of land and big warehouses to work from. Next, and probably one of the biggest reasons that people flock to San Diego is recreation. Clearly, we have the Pacific Ocean as our largest playground that we can visit every single day. Our water temperature is not like most of the rest of the world when it comes to a tropical destination. Our water on the high side might only get to 72, 73 degrees in the summertime, and that's a high. On average, in our summertime, we're going to be in the high 60s. Right now, at the time of this recording, we're coming out of winters, we're transitioning. The water temperature is quite cool. But everyone will flock to the beach regardless, especially on a sunny day. But what's interesting about San Diego is the beach is only one aspect of what we have. We have lakes, we have mountains, we have hiking trails. There are so many other avenues to explore and get out and have different recreational activities within San Diego County. So if you want that active lifestyle, there are so many different communities that you can belong in, live in, and be part of that will actually help support that active lifestyle. And it's just a really, really cool thing to see so many diverse options all within the county of San Diego. So just wrapping this up, there's a lot of housing options. There's ways to be able to afford to come to San Diego if you're interested in relocating here. There are a lot of options, especially in the East County portion of San Diego, that are more affordable. And they provide different avenues for your living arrangements, and from multi-generational to even just house hacking, where you're actually trying to get more affordable options to be able to support your living environment. As always, we're here to answer any and all questions that you might have regarding San Diego County. So feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear your comments below. If you have house hacking tips or anything that you like about San Diego, make sure you leave a comment.